Hey guys, Addict Cyclist here with a exciting yet sad day. So yeah, it's Cannondale sold. I don't know what else to say. This video's over. Yeah, no, seriously. So I've been going back and forth in my head ever since I got my Factor Ostro to consider selling it because I just really haven't been riding it as much. Fantastic bike, fast bike, fastest bike that I've ever owned. It's absolutely gorgeous. Very hard to get your hands on it right now, for both from a dealer or even online or eBay. I mean, you don't really see these bikes coming for sale very often because, quite frankly, the owners just don't want to give them up. It's a great bike, and it's absolutely stunning, and it's fast. But when I got my hands on the Ostro, I knew that eventually this bike would go, and there's a few reasons why. One, it's so fast, but yet so stiff, and I just find myself kind of just grabbing this bike more often than none. But it definitely has a place, but you don't really need two aero bikes. I have a Trek Madone at my condo in Florida, so this is like my third aero bike, but I felt that I don't really need it anymore. The bike holds speed better than anything I've ever ridden before. It's fast, it's fun, it's rowdy, it's stiff. And I kind of find myself kind of still drifting to the Ostro when I want to go out, only because it is a little bit more compliant, it is a little bit more comfortable, and I would say they're equal, right, when it comes to speed. And when I say speed, our group rides, average typically 25 plus. During the week when it's a little tamer, you're looking at 22, 23 for the most part. And the weekends we ramp it up pretty good. But comparing the two, they're both aero bikes, right? This is a lightweight aero bike. I wouldn't quite qualify it as an all-arounder because the all-arounders don't look this aero. They're a lot more shallow tube shapes, not as aero tube shapes. So if anything, this is kind of like in a class of its own, where it's an aero lightweight bike versus the Scott Addict or the Giant TCR or the Amonda or the Tarmac SL7, right? They're aero-ish. Right, they have aero-ish tube shapes, but look at the down tube on this thing. You tell me what all-arounder has a fork, integrated relatively fork into the down tube, right? The deep section head tube, down tube is huge, a pretty beefy, chunky seat tube, and pencil chainstays at the back for compliance without any type of embedded elastomers or pivot points, kind of like the Trek Madone. So I would say that this bike holds speed probably better. Well, obviously better. But what I said equal because the Cannondale takes a little bit more effort to get it rolling. Once it's rolling, it doesn't want to stop. I mean, it holds speed very well. But to get out of the saddle and sprint on it, it just doesn't have that same snap and acceleration of the Ostro. Now, I don't know if it's just because this bike's that much lighter. I can tell you that the bottom bracket is like double in size. Where the down tube and C-tube junction is. But I find myself, enjoying this, but it does require more output to get to speed. Holding speed is another story. It's easy. Where the Ostro definitely fights a little bit harder to hold speed, but is a hell of a lot easier to get up to speed. It's snappy, and it feels just as fast. Once you're kind of in a pace line, you do feel the System 6 has the advantage when you're on the front, and just hammering away, where the Ostro, you just have to give a little bit more push to it, but because it responds to power a little bit better and the bike is lighter, I would say, again, it's almost equal because it takes less effort to power the Factor versus the System 6. So both great bikes. If I had to choose one, it would obviously be the Factor since the Cannondale's going, and I just find myself not needing two aero bikes under the same roof. And I just spent a small fortune building my, my S-Works Epic up, so I'll be able to put some money back into the bike slush fund that I took out for the Epic. I had no intention of getting the Factor. It was a promo offer, a campaign offer. Got in it in October, got a really good deal on it. These bikes are selling for almost over $2,000 more than I paid for it at the time, which at the time, Factor included the oversized pulley wheel from Ceramic Speed, and they threw in the cage. It's not doing that anymore. They don't need to. They're moving so many bikes right now just because they're available. They don't need to do any freebies. So basically, the buyer is getting a bike that is basically new. You know, I waxed the chain, so the drivetrain is relatively new. Or in this case, I put a new cassette on, 1125 cassette with the Ceramic Speed oversized pulley wheels. The kit, when I give a bike away or I sell a bike, I give it to them like how I bought it. So inside the little bag there has, you know, the 1130 cassette from Ultegra. It's got the battery charger. It's got the E2 box. It's got 3 sets of through axles, 2 handle mounts. So I had one on the trainer, one for my bike rack, and then 1 flush mount in case they want to go there. It's got all the original mounts, the spacers. So they're getting basically all the literature and everything that would have came with the bike, including a spare fork. So the fork in the box was cut down to 25 mil on the steer. The fork that's on the bike right now has use of all of the spacers. There's 1 extra spacer inside of the bag. So you can see the little 5 mil on top there. So yeah, you're getting 2 forks. You know, one's pre-cut. You can cut that one lower and have this backup. It's great for that, for their resale, right? The wheels are in great shape. I upgraded to Dura-Ace 160 rotors front and rear. You know, obviously you have the aftermarket derailleur hanger, custom derailleur hanger, match the purple frame, pink purple frame, and yeah, freshly wrapped, reverse wrapped Supercast tapes, and obviously that out front mount from I forget what's the name of the manufacturer on that, but yeah, they're getting a really great bike, a really great S-Works saddle, S-Works Power Arc saddle, latex tubes. You know, this bike is mint, and you know, I'm happy to have it go to the next owner and to enjoy and to hammer on. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. It does sadden me to let this bike go because it is pretty, even though I don't ride it as much, but you can't keep a bike with this value lingering around just for the hell of it, just because you like the way it looks when you like the way the Factor rides a little bit better. So yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Please feel free to comment, and yeah, I'd love to have you hit that like and subscribe button, help support and grow the channel. So yeah, be well. Thanks.